Oh, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Avorion. So, I've made my way over here to the shipyard. I've done a little bit of mining off the last little bit of time here. They're still trying to get me to sell stuff. You're fine, go away. So, I wanted to go look at this thing. Because obviously the ship that I built was garbage. It's just a bunch of blocks stuck around. But there are ways to go in here and choose different ships. You can choose a freighter, and they'll have different type of ships, right? So you can actually do a seed. You can type in, I think it's just numbers. I don't think. Oh no, it takes letters now too. So you can put a seed in. You type stuff in. You can use their seeds to kind of do stuff. Uh, and then as you go around, you see different stuff. You see that's a freighter. So this is the miner. You see this is just a ship and a carrier. Now, in the beginning here, these don't really fill out their applications very well because obviously I'm building out of iron, so there's not much you can do. Like to change this one to titanium, you'll see that it's going to use quite a bit more titanium in the process of it. It still won't allow me to have a flight bay. If I go to titanium or trinium, you'll notice that trinium now we have a flight bay coming out. And so depending on what and then we don't have a flight bay with neonite. So depending on what you're trying to build stuff out of, you can choose whether to get ship or ship in crew. So if we want to build a miner, right, and then one, right, and then we can actually change this guy. So it's going to cost me $5,703 for it. It's going to cost me 500 iron, 1,180 iron, 1,300 titanium. I can actually take the volume and bring the volume up a little bit. You'll see as I bring the volume up, these numbers climb rather rapidly. So depending on how big you want to make it, so that it will kind of fall within your ability or your resources that you have there. And then depending on what you want to do, it tells you here what it's going to do, how much it's going to cost my crew, stuff like that. And then I can make it a single block, so all this will be just one block. Obviously, that's not going to work. And then you can actually get to show stats to show all that stuff, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build this. I'm going to use this as my mining ships. Mining and salvaging ships. So we'll start building that. You'll see that it's not actually popped out yet. So we'll let him go for a little bit. So that's kind of how you get pre-made ships in this game. Now what I need to do also is I need to do that. We'll talk to this guy. I'm gonna hire a crew. No crew there really. I probably should have looked at the shipyard. Hire crew here. You can see current crew. Okay, so it's just my current crew. It doesn't show me no captain. There no captains currently work at the station. Oh, they moved where the captains are. So we'll go look at this guy. Hire crew there. No captains. Crew. No captain. So I'm looking for a captain because if I'm going to run multiple ships, I need to have a captain. No captain. Because if not, what I'll do is I'll just basically detonate this one. Hire crew, no captain. I don't think any of the other areas here have the box. I am not seeing. Yeah, so there's our other ship. So the problem is my other ship, since it doesn't have a captain, so orders, right? I'm trying to tell it to escort me, right? Oh, it will escort me. Did they change it so you don't actually have to have a captain on there anymore? We'll do that. Where'd he go? There he is. We'll enter that ship. Back backspace to stop it. What I want to do is I want to get close enough to this other ship. Oh wait. And by close enough to the other ship, I basically need to get. Can't see it in the engine. All right, so once I do that, I should be able to interact and I can transfer. So it doesn't have that many people on here. So what I want to do is I want to transfer a couple of miners, and then I'm going to drive this guy out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put miner there, and a miner here, right? So I'll do that. I jump out of him. I'm going to enter back into this ship. And I'm going to tell this guy, I'm going to tell him orders. Okay, so I guess we can only do that with a captain. So at this point, I guess what we will do then is we will jump into that ship. Then we will use this to go fly around and try to mine things with it. So it's a smaller ship. It's not by any stretch of the imagination a large ship, and we don't have a lot of. Well, we don't have any weapons, so that's not probably helpful. But at least now it moves a little bit better. It's a better looking ship. It's a better. Uh, I think it's a better looking ship. I like the generic build of ships in this game. Um, and what you can do is once you do this, also you can go down here, and if you want to be able to build a bunch of these guys, I can just save this, tell it to save current, right? So now basically we have that ship saved as our current ship. Uh, so if I want to, I can come back later and basically just drop another one of these ships in. You can also take this scale setup. Let's see, where's the other one? There should be one. There used to be one where you could just take the ship and just kind of like increase its size, which is was really good. So basically, you can just say, "Oh, make it 150% larger. Leave everything the way it is. Just make everything larger." And that way you can kind of scale up your ships that way. So ideally, well, my I guess I put my mining rigs there on the side of the ship. So basically, what I can do now is I can just put these guys on target, and just go about my mining happiness. Now, I do really enjoy mining in this game. There's a lot of my trouble I have is, or not really have, I guess isn't the right word. But it's trying to find a game where the mining is good and fun. And the mining in this game is, I wonder, that's probably too loud. What is going on with this sound? Oh, it's still loud as hell. So the mining in space is in and of itself is I don't know, it's fun. It's fun for me, and I have a good time doing it. It's relaxing, and we can just go around and just kind of mine stuff. Now, ideally, what would happen is we'd find some place that had a captain we could acquire, and then put a captain in charge of the ship. And then once we can put a captain in charge of the ship, at that point, um, we could, yeah, once we found a captain, we could just set the ship off to mine for us, so we wouldn't have to worry about it. And the same thing, once we find salvaging, we can set things off to salvage. So I think they changed the way the captains work. I saw something about specializations, so I'm really wanting to get into that. Uh, the goal and kind of the plan for this playthrough is for me to kind of see where the game is now. And there's a lots of new games coming out right now, and ones that we've looked at, and in the space, mining genre. Obviously, we have Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous and Eve Online, and Eve is definitely probably my favorite mining game. But the PvP aspects in that game, I don't have fun with it, so I don't play Eve. Um, I don't enjoy having everything that I've worked for destroyed, and then having to rebuild it because somebody thought it was funny. So it is what it is. Some people enjoy the game. If you like PvP, you'll like it. I'm perfectly fine with not enjoying PvP, and I just want a game where I can just go and play and have fun and not have to worry about whether all the work that I've done yesterday is still going to be there today when I log in. Um, so we looked at Star Citizen. Me and Pete played that for quite a few hours this weekend, trying to see if uh, it was going to be viable. Uh, that game still got a lot of issues. I was not impressed by the amount of bugs that people are just like, oh well, here's the workaround that we discovered 2 years ago. And I'm like, what? So and we ran into a lot of bugs playing that game. Really just game breaking, immersion just destroying bugs. So that wasn't fun. We went and played a little bit of Elite Dangerous, and having good fun with that. Unfortunately, trying to make videos for that. I'm not sure if we will make videos for that. Maybe once I get into mining or something. The problem is I haven't played Elite Dangerous in so long that I don't remember a lot of the stuff, and I'm trying to learn things, and I prefer to make videos for games that I know what the hell I'm talking about. And making informational videos as opposed to uh, some other ones. So here we are back stuck in a Avorion. So like I said, I just like mining. I will probably end up with a mining fleet. The goal will be to ultimately get into higher end stuff. and basically start dropping miners out with uh, mining drones on them. Just because ultimately drones are way cheaper to outfit a bunch of ships with than trying to get mining or a bunch of salvaging lasers and a bunch of salvaging stuff. Because I can basically get one good salvaging laser or one good salvaging miner or one good mining laser and put that on a drone and basically populate all of my ships with it. Makes it for a lot easier, and then ultimately works a lot better. So now that being said, I don't plan on building a lot of my own ships. Usually the way I play this game is I'll find a ship in the Steam Workshop, or I will find well, usually the Steam Workshop, or I'll go to the dock here and pull one out. I've been kind of toying with the idea of doing ships from known, like either like a known game, like maybe we'll do Eve Online ships, or maybe we'll do Elite Dangerous ships, or even Star Citizen ships, because sometimes those will be made dropped into the thing. I'll have to start looking and do that. If the people that are watching these, if y'all have a request for a type of ship, or if you have a ship that you want to see featured, uh, that you put in the Steam Workshop, I like send them to me. Like I'll do what I can to make them. Obviously, if it's too far with massive gear, I won't be able to build it yet. Uh, we'll have to kind of cross that bridge when we get there. And I don't think this guy had anything good. And I think these guys do replenish every once in a while. I think I'm gonna change because all right, so that's the back. I put those things there. So I want to move. I want to move these guys. Gold purifying laser. Well, we'll leave them like that, but I'm gonna move them to the front. So that way we at least have a chance on them kind of lining up if we get something towards the center there. All right. But yeah, so that's kind of gonna be the plan and the goal. Like I said, I don't have really any guns, or I'm not doing a lot of combat. In the beginning areas, you can kind of get away with not doing a lot of combat as long as you keep your head about you, and you kind of stay away from the main fights. If you're smart and you pick your battles, you can uh, kind of go into zones, pick up things there where other people have been fighting, and just kind of zip through and pick up some equipment. And sometimes you can get away with getting some pretty good stuff without actually having to get into a fight in the beginning. And like, don't get me wrong, we will end up in a fight. Like we will end up freaking shooting people in the face. That's what this game is, and that's what will happen with it. So the other thing too, sorry about not having another episode out for the last couple of days on this one, but it was on my laptop and I left my charger, so it's hard. Usually at home I just use my desktop. When I'm out on the road, I try to do stuff with my laptop. So not having the ability to move the world back and forth easily, um, it's something that we'll have to look into if the this takes off. I have a server that I can have run the world for me, and I can look at moving that over, and basically get the server to so that I can access the world a little bit more often. Um, but right now I'm just running a single player world and just kind of, so when I shut the game down, it kind of kills the game for me. Uh, just kind of flying around, seeing if we can find some more stuff to mine. And I probably should be moving on to a place that has more titanium in it. Oh, that might hurt. Nope, nope. Oh, that worked out well. But yeah, so the goal is like in a lot of games I try to build my own ships and stuff like that, and like the ships in here, the problem is for me anyway, uh, that it takes a long time to build a ship and to make it look pretty and to get all the angles to match up and to do all that stuff. It is very difficult to do. And there are some people that do it and they do it very well and they can make it look very easily or very easy. But for me to be able to get the information out and to get videos out on a timely manner, I don't want to spend, a day building a ship. Um, and then, because I'll end up trying to make it as pretty as I can and play with it. It's a lot easier for me to kind of go through, grab a couple of things that I need, and then just kind of do what I need to build or to alter the ship for my needs. Um, so that being said, I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of Star Trek stuff. I've seen a lot of Star Wars stuff. It'd be funny to have, big galaxy cruisers and stuff like that, uh, trying to fly around and uh, do that. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to go Star Trek or Star Wars or even just go another brand. We can mix and match if we want. Um, but like I said, uh, doing a lot of talking about it. But if you do have, if you would like to have a horse in the race, leave a comment at the bottom as to what type of ship you want me to do. Whether it's Star Trek, Star Wars, obviously being the big ones, Eve Online, Elite Dangerous. Um, I know Eve has quite a few ships that people have made for this game. I'm sure Elite's probably had a few of them also. We can mix and match, if we get people that, you know, adamantly want to have, a specific, vehicle in here. Because ultimately what I want to end up having is a whole factory setting. So if we build, space stations that look like Deep Space Nine, and then build one that looks like the Death Star, and I'll mix and match them. Or I'm not really worried about that. I want to see what the game will do. I want to try to take over some sectors. I want to build industry. I just want to see how far I can push the game to see where the game goes, where the engine is, and what we can get away with now. Because in the past, I've tried to play this game and we've broken it. Well, to be fair, we break it when we start launching a bunch of drones. The network starts breaking when we launch. And when I say a bunch of drones, I mean like hundreds of drones into a sector. And that was with just two of us on the server. So with Pete and I on the server, we would launch a couple of hundred drones each from several ships, and it got really upset with us. And it would do that on, pretty much every time we did it. So it's gonna be one of those things that we're gonna have to look at that and see. And once I kind of get the my build to a point where I have the ability to get that many drones out, I'll probably drop the file over onto the server, uh, load the server up, and then have uh, Pete pop in and see if it works better. Because that's really the question, right? Is once we start pushing stuff to its upper limits, does the game handle it? Will the game allow me to do stuff in game that I should be able to do, and then what does the server do about it? Because obviously the big reason we have with not playing Space Engineers is because when you start building decent sized stuff in Space Engineers, the server software is garbage. It is like literally garbage. The the way the devs have it, it only uses a couple of, I think, three cores. So the server I have is, I think it's a 10 core now. I upgraded the processor not too long ago, so I think it's 10 cores and it's running at like 3.1 gig. It's a pretty decent Xeon processor. It's an older one, but and I got 64 gigs of RAM in it, and the machine is beefy. For what it is and what it does and what it was built to do, it does well. And Space Engineers just destroys it. And it doesn't destroy all of it. It's because it only runs on three cores, and it basically locks out because the the three cores it's running on just doesn't have enough power to be able to run that stuff. And that's really where the problem is and where it lies is, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that this stuff is easy. I'm not trying to say that, like building a game to do what I want it to do is not easy. The devs have been trying and trying, and we just kind of push it to its limits. It's nice to know where the limits are and stuff like that. So, but with that, we're going to go ahead. I'm probably just going to do some mining. I wanted to get another video out for this today in case people were looking for it, because it's been a few days. I had, like I said, didn't have the world available to me. Oh yeah, that doesn't look like a trap at all. And then I just wanted to get this out today, and then we will be back. I'll probably just do some mining off camera, just clear some rocks out, see if I can find a captain. If I can find a captain, or six, because I'm gonna end up with that many captains anyway. Might as well use them. But then with that, we'll start pushing in towards the main area and trying to get into at least some higher metals so that we can start getting larger ships and better equipped. So, but with that, we will let you guys go. And then, like I said, if y'all do want to see more of Orion, please like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff is really helpful. It does. Like, I know everybody says it helps the channel, but it helps the channel. It goes into the algorithm. It shows interactions. It shows that you care and that you like the information. And then it shows it to more people, and then more people come and see it. It's this whole freaking loop. We all know how YouTube works. Um, but if you do like it, throw a comment down. Let me know what type of ship you want to see. If you just want to see, like, I'll just build random ships from the shipyard. At that point, leave me a a a key, and then we'll drop that in there, and we'll see what type of ships we can get them to produce. But with that, we'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all be safe. Talk to y'all later.